The 32-year-old well-traveled fighter Nate Diaz wants a lot of money, according to his boxing coach, in terms of a trilogy fight with Conor McGregor. Now, who knows if Conor is even going to fight Nate Diaz next? Doesn't matter. Via Submission Radio, who, by the way, all of you should subscribe to. We had them on the pre-fight show in the build-up to Mayweather McGregor. Casper and Dennis are freaking awesome. Great content. Great radio voices as well. So get at Submission Radio on YouTube. So his boxing coach, Richard Perez, spoke to our friends at Submission Radio. Quote, at least 20 million. 30 million. Come on. UFC's making a whole lot of money, and they're pocketing it. They're giving more to McGregor, so it's not fair because it takes two in that ring to draw a crowd. I mean, a good two fighters. It's just like Mayweather when he fought Berto. It was not even sold out at all. It was embarrassing. It's because that guy couldn't draw a crowd. See, that's what I'm saying. It's the fighters that draw the crowd. And Nate Diaz, and McGregor, third one would be outstanding. I agree. Everyone knows that. So he needs to get paid at least $30 million easy. Now you're probably thinking, wait a minute. Nate Diaz? 20, 30 million? Yeah. And a trusted voice when it comes to the UFC via MMAfighting.com, Mark Romani, quote tweeted and said he, as in Nate, should get it. The UFC needs to change its pay structure for McGregor's return anyway, which I completely agree with. And let's look at the pay structure just for one example. CM Punk never fought professionally via a script. In a ring, octagon, what have you, never done it. He got paid over $500,000 to fight Mickey Gall, who got paid $30,000, which he told MMA Fighting's Ariel Helwani on the MMA Hour, which is a great show every Monday. The pay structure is not there. The union is not there. So how do we change this? In a way, Conor McGregor is good for the sport, good for many fighters, and a trailblazer, because now he is laying the law of the land. And a lot of fighters, even though like Kevin Lee and Tony Ferguson and Nate Diaz and a few others, they hate him publicly, they should respect him privately for what he's doing, because he is pushing the barriers for the next UFC fighters to come in that could be superstars, or maybe they're not even mega superstars, but they're getting paid like superstars, because these guys take a fucking beating just for a blood sport, so Dana White and the Fertittas and WME, IMG can get paid. So I like what Conor is doing, even though he's brash, even though he's a little out there with his words. I appreciate what he's doing for many of the UFC fighters to come and even the UFC landscape right now. So Conor said this, nonetheless, if it even matters, just for if this trilogy fight were to happen. I'm the 155-pound champ. I faced him, Nate, at 170. He beat me, rematched at 170. I beat him. Now I'm the 155 champion. If he wants that fight, he must come down. That's a fair trade. I didn't ask for the rematch at a lower weight. I asked for the rematch at the exact same weight. Yada, yada, yada. He goes on and on. Fine. Fight at 155. Who cares? Nate Diaz has been in wars, man. Not only with these two McGregor fights, and obviously he bleeds easily. The second fight was arguably one of the greatest fights that we've ever seen in UFC history. He was the Ultimate Fighter Season 5 winner. The fight against Cowboy Donald Cerrone was fantastic as well. He is due for a big payday. Now, granted, he got paid the most that he ever got paid against Conor McGregor in that second fight, where I believe he received well over $1 million. But nonetheless, for those fights, for UFC 196, a $1.5 million pay-per-view buy, Nate Diaz didn't get paid nearly as much as he should. For UFC 202, the second fight, which was an absolute war, again, did not get paid nearly what he should, especially for the, I hate to call it entertainment, but for the ferociousness of that fight. Again, arguably one of the best. For Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather, McGregor made guaranteed 30, upwards of $100 million, and yet he is a champion in two weight classes. He has so many options. He could fight Tony Ferguson. He could fight Khabib. He could fight Nate Diaz. Far-fetched, but if he wants to keep it in his back pocket and get paid a little bit later on, he could have Jose Aldo too. He could fight Paulie Malignaggi. He could fight Miguel Cotto. The world is in the palm of Conor McGregor's hands. It doesn't matter who he picks because he's going to get paid. But it's an interesting strategy from Nate Diaz to say, via his boxing coach, he wants to get paid 20 to 30 million. Even if it's not 20 to 30, he's still staying out of the game, bolstering his name, it seems like, without even fighting. And he could get at least, it seems, 8, if not 10 as the starting point. And then you work in the contract with the pay-per-view money, concessions, yada, yada, just selling in the gate, that it could be upwards of 15, potentially. But it's just very, very interesting to see that Nate Diaz, while staying idle, is still in the news. And he is just adding more and more and more to his bank account, which it seems like the UFC, Dana White, and many others hate, which we, of course, as fight fans love. So let me know all of your thoughts, where exactly you stand on all this. Get at me in the comments section below. Follow me on Twitter, @Strom, and subscribe to TYT Sports.